Hello and welcome from DCFL. I'm Chris, and with me today I have Noel and Jeremy. And what we're going to be doing is taking you through a little bit of a lower body strength video. This is going to be a similar format to our strong and limber or our total body strength if you've been to those classes here. Now, Noel's going to be showing more of a little bit of a challenging version. If you have some weights or any equipment at home, I encourage you to incorporate them. If you don't have any equipment, that's okay. Body weight exercises, or Jeremy's going to be also using some assistance with like a chair or any sort of stationary object. I'll be doing mostly body weight, so just make it as challenging as you would like. Now, first movement is going to be a squat. So get those feet apart, toes pointed slightly out. We're going to start in 3, 2, begin. Now, Noel to my side is doing a goblet squat with the weight. So if you have a weight, if you have bands, a kettlebell, feel free to hold it up in front. If you don't have any equipment, Jeremy is demonstrating a sit to stand, and I'm just doing some body weight air squats. We're about halfway. Sending those hips back so our weight's in the heels. Squeeze those glutes to stand. Keep it up. We got 10 seconds. And 3, 2, and 1. So next up is we have a hinge. So get those feet about hip width apart. Noel's going to be doing a single leg. Weight is optional during that one. And Jeremy's going to be using a chair for some balance. So get ready and begin. I'm going to step in sideways so you can see more of my body movement. I want most of the movement coming from the hips. Trying to push that tailbone back. Squeeze the glutes to stand. Keeping that belly button drawn in so we don't round our back. Should feel a good pull down the back side of those thighs. If you're doing single legs, switch legs. Less than 10 seconds to go. Keep it up. 3, 2, and 1. Now, next up is a sumo squat. So get those feet nice and wide and point those toes out. Noel's going to be adding in a heel lift at the bottom or a calf raise at the bottom. Jeremy's still got his chair if he needs it. And again, weight is optional. So let's get to work. Again, pushing those hips back behind us, but I want you to drive those knees out real far. Same direction as your toes. Squeezing those glutes to stand. I hope Noel's handling those heel lifts well.
My ankle's cracked.
You challenge yourself as much as you want here. Focus on those muscles you're trying to work. Core is braced, that belly button's drawn in. Keep it up, we got 10 seconds, y'all. 3, 2, and 1. Next up is going to be a stationary lunge. I'll be doing a stationary lunge. Noel's going to be alternating by jumping. And Jeremy's just going to be doing some step backs. Hinge as much as you can. Make it as challenging as you want. And begin. If you're doing the stationary with me, make sure you're bending both knees coming straight down, straight back up by pushing through that front foot. Alternating lunges over there. You can jump if you want more of a challenge. Or if you need to, hold on to a counter or a chair and give me some step backs. Trying to add that hinge. Now if you're doing single leg with me stationary, I want you to switch feet. Keep it up. That back leg, you should just be planting those toes. That's there for balance. We got less than 10 seconds. Keep it up. 3, 2, and 1. Now, that's the end of the first round. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, just rewind me, go back to the beginning, and go through another 2 or 3 rounds. We're going to be moving on to our second drill, which will be down on the ground. Now, for these exercises, I would recommend either maybe using the edge of the kitchen where the floor becomes a little more slick. If you don't have any linoleum surface or something that would slide easy like a towel, then I would recommend getting some paper plates. She's going to use the gliders to mimic those, and I've got some towels. Now, if you don't want to get down on the ground, Jamie's going to be demonstrating all of these standing. So, first movement is going to be a bridge. So, everyone's going to be on our backs. Get those feet nice and flat. Otherwise, Jeremy, he's just going to be doing some glute kickbacks. So, everyone in position, single leg, and begin. If you're doing single leg like Noelle, you can either have one foot up in the air or one ankle crossed over the opposite knee. I'll let you know when to switch halfway through. Try to focus on squeezing those glutes to raise your hips up. As much of a range of motion as you can. If you're doing single leg, I want you to switch. Add a little pause at the top. Really focus on those glutes. Almost there. We got about 3, 2, and 1. Now, next up, I want you to get those towels and place them underneath your heels at the edge of that slick surface. We're going to be doing some hamstring curls. I'm going to alternate. Noelle's going to do them both feet together, and Jeremy's going to be doing standing hamstring. So, ready? And begin. If you're on the ground like Noelle and I, try to keep your hips up the whole time. You can either alternate, sliding towards your hips and extending, or you can do them both together. If you're standing like Jeremy, try to keep those knees right next to each other and squeeze that hamstring as you raise it up towards your behind. You should really feel these in the back side of the thigh, those hamstrings. Less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, now we're going to lie on our sides if you're on the ground. Next up, I have a clamshell. Noelle's going to be doing a side plank with the clamshell, and Jeremy's going to be doing a standing abduction, kind of raising that heel up to the side. So, begin. Now be mindful during a clamshell, we don't want to rotate our hips. Try to keep those hips stacked over top one another and only raise that knee. If we're doing a side plank like Noelle, you can either be on the elbow, propped up on the elbow, or if you want to put your palm on the ground, be a little bit higher, that's okay. Just make sure you're kind of pushing through that knee. Now if you're standing like Jeremy, make sure that leg stays nice and long, toe stays pointed forward. Not arching the back, so pull that belly button in. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Now, switch sides. So if you're standing, that's an easy transition. If you're on the ground, you can either flop over or rotate, whatever's comfortable for you. Last round of our clamshell. 3, 2, and begin. Now, if you're doing a side plank with it and you want to vary things up, or throughout the workout, if you want to try a different variation, by all means, you can change variations during the exercise or during the workout. You don't have to pick a lane and stick with it. Try it out, make it easier or harder, or try the harder versions, and as you fatigue, go a little easier. You make this workout as hard as you want. Again, keeping those hips stacked over one another. We got less than 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now, just a little reminder afterwards, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, again, rewind me, do a few rounds, do a few sets. Try different variations, progressions or regressions. Just make sure that you always cool down and stretch afterwards. If you ever, during the workout, just press pause. That's the great part about being at home and doing a workout if you need to go and grab some water. So we hope you're all working hard at home. Keep moving, stay sanitary, keep practicing that social distancing, and email us or contact us if you have any sort of questions. We love some feedback. So again, this is Chris, Noelle, and Jeremy. Hope you had a good lower body workout.